Hi, I'm Hannah Goldberg. I am founder and principal designer of Hannah Charlotte Interiors. We are a boutique luxury interior design company based out of Northern Virginia, right outside DC, with a primary focus on residential design, be that renovations, new builds, furnishings, the works. As a kid, I rearranged my room maybe weekly, and I was a little bit obsessed with TLC's Trading Spaces. Um, and so like the inklings, the hints were there. I also played Sims religiously just to design the houses. I would build the house with the like unlimited money cheat code and then be done, abandon that family and build another house, just on repeat. And so the signs were there, but I was never introduced to interior design as a career kind of option. Both my parents were lawyers, the doctor route, all of that. I was very good at math. I was very good at science. So I ultimately went to school for engineering. And it was there that I found out I don't love engineering. And I ended up procrastinating studying for my exams by making mood boards over and over and over again. One King's Lane had just come out as a resource, and I was introduced to it by a board member, asked to like test it out for user experience, and I just kind of became hooked on making mood boards. And so I made the decision to pivot. Our typical client is like a very busy professional. They value a beautiful home. They understand what it takes to create, a really beautiful home, and they understand that they just don't have the time and resources themselves to do it, and that they want a professional to help them. And they come to us kind of a two-part. One, we have an incredibly structured process that really helps clients walk through from start to finish, just very organized. We try to make that process as painless as possible, the thousands and thousands of decisions that go into building, renovating, or decorating a home. But they also come to us for our kind of, I don't call it aesthetic, I call it a design ethos, because we do work across a range of design aesthetics, but we bring always kind of a layered, very tactile approach to design, and creating homes that feel warm, incredibly personal to each and every client, and always like very kind of a lived in, always been like that kind of feel to a project. I actually draw on my engineering background a lot. One thing, I approached the projects like a gigantic puzzle. I think it really, really helps in terms of the space planning aspect of our job when we come into, we love to be, first of all, brought onto a project when there's space planning to be done. If it's a renovation or a new build, we love to be brought on as early as possible, so that we can really kind of play with those pieces. But one of my first jobs in the industry, I was kind of thrown right into the fire at I was leading the design department of an architectural firm, doing multi-story luxury, multifamily projects, and having to understand the structural, the mechanical, all of that integration on these hundreds of pages of CD sets. And I was taught at that firm, if you design it, you have to know how to build it, and you have to know how to draw it so that the builders can build it. There wasn't a single thing that existed that we designed that we didn't also detail down to how it attached to the wall. I think scaling is always in the back of every designer's mind. When to scale, how to scale, what direction. And it has crossed my mind, but I love our small team. We're a team of 3, and that allows me to be incredibly involved daily in the designs. and really client facing when it comes to all the presentations and selections. And I'm not quite ready to step further away from the day-to-day design. I think when you scale, you can go in kind of creative director role, you can go a little more CEO, business development role, but you kind of have to pick a lane, and either way, you're stepping back a little from the design work. And I'm not ready for that yet. I think for me, growth resonates a little more on the creative side. I love that we get to be a little bit choosier about the projects we take on because we take on fewer projects. I don't want to just, add team members based on the quantity of leads coming in at any given time. I want to keep our team at a specific size. I think especially right now when we're in this kind of very tech heavy world, especially with all this AI being thrown at us, I'm kind of seeing a swing away from smart homes and tech heavy homes. We're actually kind of seeing more analog, more craft, more desire for pieces that feel and are handmade or handcrafted. They want that feeling of peace in their homes and that, I guess, feeling that we're not just in this incredibly techy space all the time, that there's real solid things going on in our house, if that makes sense. We're seeing like analog rooms, even like rooms that are completely and totally designed to be tech free, to have a record player, to have walls of books, just things that feel like they're meant for human touch and senses, and just to like refuel us in this time where tech feels a little bit draining. We have slowly but surely been kind of building up towards releasing kind of a curated vintage collection, and we're still kind of exploring exactly how we're gonna release that into the world, whether that's kind of a pop-up shop or a vintage kind of online drop, or still kind of playing around. But I've been having a lot of fun collecting pieces for that collection, and excited to bring that into the universe. I love Italian mid-century, kind of late mid-century. I love pottery, all sorts of pottery, and ceramics. I've been collecting just really cool vessels in copper and brass and kind of crystal, hoping to do a custom candle line in these beautiful vintage vessels. And just really, if it catches my eye, and there's something almost in my gut that I feel like if I have to have it, I kind of grab it. There's a little town called Middleburg, Virginia. It's about an hour and a half outside of DC. It's this adorable, quaint downtown known for its antiquing and its wineries and its horse farms. And it's just absolutely the most charming place. And I am dying to design a house there, like a country escape. One, because I love all those things, wine, antiques, and horses. Two, because I just love the idea of designing any home that has such a beautiful landscape around it to integrate. I think one of the things I love incorporating into designs as much as possible is that connection between the inside and outside. I think it's so incredible for our mental health and our physical health to feel connected to nature. So having that extra push of being just in this gorgeous rural setting. But also I find clients get a little more creative. They're willing to step just a little further outside of their comfort zone and out of their box when you're designing kind of a vacation home or kind of a country home. The biggest is I'm actually a huge introvert. I go to these conferences, design is a really client and people forward job. We're talking to trades, managing a team, presenting to clients, emails, phone calls, all of that. It's very kind of extroverted leaning, and it all takes a lot of energy. And I love every minute of it. So none of this is to say that I don't love all of that, but for an introvert, that takes an extra level of energy.